A very good evening. Welcome to Prime TV News on Friday, the 19th of July, with me, Iftia Abdul Kader. Your headlines first. Fishermen of several areas are banned from venturing into the sea until further notice. Adverse weather still prevails. Prime Minister fulfills a promise. 31,500 promotions for police officers at the same time. 15,000 graduates will get jobs from the first. And on news overseas, US destroyed Iranian drone is in the Strait of Hormuz. Those were your top stories, and now for the news in detail. The public are warned to be further cautious on the adverse weather situation. The granting of relief to families impacted by the inclement weather conditions are continuing. The Department of Meteorology said the prevailing windy conditions over the country and surrounding sea areas and showery condition over the island are likely to continue today. The department said that heavy falls exceeding 150 millimeters may be experienced in certain parts of the island. Strong gusty winds up to 70 to 80 kilometers per hour are likely over the island, particularly in western, southern, central, Sabaragamuwa, northwestern and north-central provinces and in the Trincomalee district. Fisheries trawlers are being advised to reach the nearest harbour. Atula Karunanayaka, the acting Director General of the Department of Meteorology, said that the showery condition over the island, particularly in the central and Sabaragamuwa provinces and in the Gaul and Mathura districts, are likely to continue today. Fairly heavy rainfall of up to 100 millimeters can be experienced in the central and Sabaragamuwa provinces and in the Gaul and Mathura districts. Very strong gusty winds up to 70 to 80 kilometers per hour are likely over the island, particularly in the western, southern, central, Sabaragamuwa, northwestern and north-central provinces and in the Trincomalee district. Strong gusty winds up to 50 to 60 kilometers per hour can be expected elsewhere. He said that showery and windy conditions are likely to continue in the northwestern, western, southern western, and southern sea areas of the island till 21st morning. Showers or thunder showers will occur at times in the sea areas of the coast. Showers or thunder showers may occur at several places in the other sea areas around the island in the evening or night. The sea areas extending from Mannar to Puttuville via Puttalam, Colombo, Gaul and Hambantota will be very rough at times as the wind speed can increase up to 80 to 90 kilometers per hour at times. Fishermen are advised not to venture into the above sea areas and naval communities are also requested to be vigilant till July 21st morning. The disaster management said that disaster units throughout the island are geared to face any disastrous situation. Its emergency hotline is operative round the clock. Particularly the armed forces, including the Sri Lanka Navy, are making a vital contribution in the granting of relief to the affected families. Assistant Director of the Disaster Management Centre, Pradeep Kodipilli, said that the rainy condition is now at a lower level and there is a reduction in the water level of many rivers. The body of a young girl swept away along with her sister by floodwaters in Agarapatana was recovered today. The body of one victim had been recovered yesterday, while the other had been recovered around 1,500 meters from the location of the incident. Army officers, along with the police and area residents, had recovered the body. Many areas are flooded due to the heavy rainfall experienced. The police have urged the public to avoid the Ratnapura town and use alternative routes. Our correspondents reported that several by-roads are too submerged. A barge with 9 crewmen off the Rumasala coast near Gaul Harbour had capsized owing to rough seas. The 9 crew members were subsequently rescued by the Sri Lanka Navy. The rescued crew members are being brought ashore, the Navy said. No injuries have been reported among the crew. The ship has been anchored near the Galle lighthouse. The captain of the ship, who was sick, has been admitted to the Karapitia hospital. The captain was an Indian national and 4 Sri Lankans are along the crew. The barge faced the accident while transporting raw materials such as cement. Several power outages were reported due to fallen trees in many areas. There was obstructions to movement of traffic following the flowing of sea waters on the road in areas such as Ambalangoda, Balapitiya and Telvatta areas. The operation of trains was obstructed due to the fall of a tree onto the rail track in the Balapitiya area. Employees of the Ceylon Electricity Board had to make an untiring effort to remove a large tree that had fallen onto a high-tension power line in the Vatugedara area and restore electricity to the area. The flow of seawater into the Beruwala Road obstructed transport. Beruwala Divisional Secretary Chatura Alvis said the fishermen had been requested not to venture into the sea for fishing. Following the sudden overflow of the Gurugal Oil Reservoir in Palle Buwala, a stock of iron scaffolding that was being taken for the Ma Oil Bridge project along the Ragala main road at Kanda Junction had been washed away. 2 spill gates of the reservoir had been opened. In the meantime, the National Building Research Institute has said that the landslide threat issued for several districts is still in place. The landslide threat was issued for districts such as Ratnapura, Nuwara, Kandy, Kagala, Kalutara, Galle and Matara. During a recent visit paid to the Munaragala area by Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe, the helpless parents of a schoolgirl studying at the Madulla Central College has sought assistance from the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister took immediate action to fulfill the promise. Dulanjali Disanayaka is a student studying in the Madulla Central College and her mother is suffering from cancer. Dulanjali is experiencing difficulties in pursuing her studies due to the economic difficulties as her father, who does not have a permanent job, has to look after his wife. When Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe recently visited Munaragala, the student made a fervent appeal for some assistance to undertake her studies. After discussing with Minister Ranjit Madhumabandara, the Prime Minister decided to hand over a monthly advance until she completes her advanced level examination. It was done under the sponsorship of A. Ajit De Costa. The event took place at Temple Trees. A group including the principal, J. M. Vijayaratna of the Madulla Central College, joined in the occasion. Minister Tilak Marapana has said that the present government has given the right of freedom for the people to gather in freedom, security, law and order and consolidated democracy. He made this reference when he met the Special United Nations Human Rights Reporter. United Nations Special Rapporteur on the Rights to Peace and Freedom of Reconciliation, Clement Nialatsosi Wall, met Minister Tilak Marapana at the Foreign Ministry. The Foreign Minister further said that Sri Lanka has embarked on a new path with the international community, including the United Nations, on the promotion and protection of human rights. The minister said that the government guarantees the right to peacefully assemble for free association. Although the emergency is in force, there are no limitations imposed on freedom. The United Nations representative expressed his deep concern on the suicide attacks that took place in April and said that he highly valued the attempts made by the government to return normalcy to the country and its ability to ensure the rule of law. Government officials, including the Foreign Secretary Ravinatha Aryasinghe, joined in this meeting. The United Nations Special Representative will remain in the island until the 26th of this month. He is due to tour the northern, eastern and southern provinces. During these visits, he is due to meet human rights organizations as well as civil organizations. The report, to be compiled after his tour, is slated to be presented to the 44th Human Rights Sessions to be held in June next year. A program to provide houses on behalf of members who had died in the armed forces, the police and the civil defense department, as well as those who are rendered disabled and also those who are at presently in service. It was revealed at a media conference held today that the event will be held on the 22nd of this month at the Sugadadasa Indoor Stadium under the patronage of President Maithripala Sirisena. Defence Secretary Shanta Kottegoda said on this day funds will be donated to them from funds of the Api Venuwen Api Fund and from the Defence Fund. Additional Secretary of the Defence Ministry W.A. Kulasurya said that 1,504 recipients are due to receive these funds on this day. 25 houses built will also be handed over to them. 925 persons will receive funds to complete partially built houses. 308 children of war heroes who had passed the Grade 5 scholarship examination will receive scholarships. 246 who do not possess lands will be provided lands under a concept of the President. Chief of Defence Staff Admiral Vijay Gunaratne and chiefs of the armed forces as well as high officials attended this news conference. On to a headline-making story. A formal procedure has been established for the recruitment of officials of various executive positions and the granting of promotions. Accordingly, 31,500 police officers who had not received promotions for a long period will be given promotions. Initial steps have been taken to grant promotions at once under several categories. The President made these revelations at a discussion held today. President Maithripala Sirisena and senior officials of the police department had a discussion this morning at the President's office. This matter came up for discussion at this meeting. The recruitment of officials to executive grades of the police department for a long period and the granting of promotions had not taken place on a proper procedure. Drawing his attention to this matter, the President had taken this initiative based on the advice given by him in several past meetings. The National Police Commission has so far given its approval to this new procedure on the recruitments and promotions, and it is due to be effective in the future. All arrangements have been finalized to grant jobs to 15,000 graduates by the 1st of next month. This has been revealed by Education Minister Akila Viraj Karyavasam. The minister was speaking at a function held in the Giriulla area. The vesting in the students of 3 new buildings constructed at the Handiyagala Sri Ratanapala Mahavidyalaya in Giriulla took place under the patronage of Minister Akila Viraj Karyavasam. Among those present at the event was Minister Gamini Javikrama Pereira. These buildings were constructed under the program The Best School is the Nearest School. The government spent 50 million rupees on the project. You're watching Prime TV News, and still on the local scene, the Ministry of Justice and Prison Reforms has said that certain information published via the media with respect to the construction of the new building complex at Hulsdorf in Colombo is totally false. A 6-acre block of land has been reserved for the construction of the new judicial complex building. Even cabinet approval has been received for the project. The building complex will have 12 floors and will comprise 40 courtrooms, an 8-storied building each for the Justice and Prison Reforms Ministry, a training center for judges, and a legal department would be constructed under the project. It is planned to construct an 8-storied building for a new law center. Cabinet nod has been given for a sum of $99.55 million in this respect. According to the ministry, 13 bids have been received for the construction of the buildings, but tenders have not been handed over to any company yet. International companies located overseas or currently engaged in a project in Sri Lanka were invited to bid after cabinet approval was granted to this effect, the ministry noted. The Justice Ministry observed that the current buildings at the premises of the Colombo Magistrates Court were in a dilapidated state, and this project is expected to resolve this issue. Security in the country has been consolidated. As such, Army Commander Lieutenant General Mahesh Senanayake said that a peaceful situation is prevailing in the island. The Army Commander made this reference at the official handing of the centre constructed for the differently abled in Ragama to the medical faculty of the Kelaniya University. The centre has been built at a cost of 550 million rupees. It was built with the labour construction of soldiers of the Army's 10th Engineering Service Force. The Army Commander said that he considered this event as a significant occasion in his life, as he could also be a part of the noble venture of making a difference for the disabled children by opening the centre. Only such a centre in Sri Lanka is fully dedicated to providing necessary assistance for the differently abled children. Business News is up next. The Central Bank of Sri Lanka has requested licensed banks and non-bank financial institutions to reduce interest rates on deposits with effect from 29 April 2019. The measure was taken to accelerate monetary policy transmission through the financial sector, enabling licensed banks to reduce their interest rates on lending products in general and to small and medium enterprises in particular, and thereby enhance credit flows to the real economy. Accordingly, interest rates on savings and other deposits with tenures less than 3 months offered by licensed banks and non-bank financial institutions were based on the standing deposit facility rate, whilst longer tenures were based on the 364-day Treasury bill rate. The central bank has also injected substantial rupee liquidity to the domestic market by reducing the statutory reserve ratio. It has also further reduced the policy interest rates by 50 basis points on 31st May 2019, which is directly reflected in the corresponding reduction in standing deposit facility rate linked interest rates of savings deposits. For more information, visit www.itnews.lk. Many thanks for joining us. Bye-bye.